morning. Hey everybody, it's Bevin. I'm doing a day in the life video. This is so exciting. I feel like I should have a hot open, but I don't. It's too early for me to have a hot open. So I've been awake. I have a long day today. This is why I decided to do a day in the life today, because I'm hitting a lot of fun things. And as an aerobics instructor and a showgirl in the coronavirus quarantine, we don't get a lot of big show days. So today feels like that kind of day. Saturday feels like Christmas every week because I get to teach my aerobics class. So Facu Dance Party, Zoom aerobics. It's just something to look forward to in a time where right? But anyway, every Saturday's like Christmas. It's also like my big work day, right? So I'm going to take you along for the day. I've been awake truthfully for about an hour and a half. First thing I do is meditate. Second thing I do is do a devotional. So I try to, Christians read the Bible, or I would say hegemonic Christians read the Bible. I don't know how to differentiate people who like just follow the teachings of Christ versus the people who like participate in Christian hegemony. Anyway, I do a devotional practice, which is just something that is a study that's going to help me get closer to God. I've already done all those things. I've also taken a boomerang of my cat. It was kind of weak today. And now I'm going to go do breakfast. Today's a busy day, so I already set up my water for the day. I set out my vitamins ready to take. I always say good morning to Cecilia by singing. I hope the copyright robots don't take down this video because of Cecilia. Her name must be sung. That's the rule. Isn't she cute? She's doing so good. I have an affirmation calendar that I change every day. It's April 10th, the only April 10th, 2021 we're ever going to have. Ooh, I let go of childhood fears. I am a secure, empowered human being. Yes. Now we turn on the tea. Make my porridge. This isn't that interesting. Okay. For breakfast, I like hot porridge, something simple to digest. I put a little maple syrup on top because I am Buddy the Elf. Not really, but I aspire to that level of cheer and productivity. And my Dolly mug, PG Tips black tea. Very strong opinion about what is great black tea, and for just like a regular morning PG tea. Okay. I'm just going to get serious for a second. Tea is an affordable luxury. So if you're on a budget, tea is something where you can get high-end tea. Like a box of 80 bags of this is like $11. That's not a huge barrier, right? Like, and it's really exceptionally good quality tea. It makes such a big difference over just regular black tea. So I treat myself and I get the fancy tea. But it's all about like when you're trying to live a little frugally, it's all about figuring out what your affordable luxuries are and how to feel like you're having an elevated experience without needing to invest a lot of money. Salt is another luxury you can invest in that does not cost a lot, but makes a big difference in your experience of the things you're doing. Okay, I've taken a cold shower. I love the physiology of high performance, so I take cold showers every morning like Tony Robbins and so many other people do. It really works. I learned this trick too. If you put cold water on your vagus nerve, like right behind your head, at the top of your spine, I guess, for like 10 seconds or more, it helps to lower how often you get triggered. Works for me. I started doing this towards the beginning of the pandemic, and like, I'm pretty chill. And yeah, so now I'm going to do my makeup, get dressed, and get ready. And meanwhile, just so you have the full picture of my day, I'm listening to stuff. So I have a curriculum I follow, and I'm listening to things that are just helping me achieve my dreams. Because to stay young, you got to stay learning. And to be successful, all the top CEOs and things like that, they all read a ton, learn a ton, go to tons of classes. And for me, if I don't do it every day, it doesn't get done. So it's part of my habit. So that's what I do while I'm getting ready. I'm also listening and learning, and sometimes stopping and writing notes and that kind of thing. I'm in the middle of doing my makeup, listening to my stuff. He's making a lot of noise, jumping around places. You doing okay, buddy? You doing okay? Yeah. Okay, I'm ready now. I did my finishing touch, which is putting on my bow. I just recently updated my bow wall, so I want to show you that the original is the shorter one. but I clearly have more bows than that, so I replicated that. This one is a JoJo Siwa. I bought it on QVC. That was the first time I ever was exposed to JoJo, was her selling bows on QVC, and I was like, I wear bows. So I bought it. It came with a handy bow holder, which is actually, it's just a ribbon with a circle at the top, little loop. So I made a thing with a ribbon and a carabiner because I'm gay and that's what I had available. So anyway, I always pick a bow for Fat Kid Dance Party. I love bows. I love cheerleader aesthetic. I love hair bling. I've been known, I mean, you know, if you look at any of my throwback pics, you'll just see years of hair accessories. And this is very practical for movement. Cheer squads know. Anyway. The wind is wild. I hope you noticed that the mic stand, the holder stand fell over while I was putting together this floor. I just want to reflect that being an entrepreneur means that I have had to solve a million problems. I can't teach really in there because I can't bounce as much as I want to teach aerobics. So I do it on a foam floor out in front of my house. And honestly, I just pray and hope that the weather's good. I live in the Pacific Northwest, but I also live in a rain shadow. I'm also blessed. And Fat Kid Dance Party is, I've only had to teach inside one time, one Saturday morning since June. So anyway, we're just gonna keep going. Thankful, grateful, and also new problem I get to solve for next week is that my computer table, as far back as it goes, is not gonna be shaded, and it needs to stay in the shade. But with the high wind, I can't really put a covering, so I'm gonna either have to figure out how to broadcast from inside the shed to out here. I don't know, whatever. I'm always trying to solve problems. You saw me kind of mopping this up in the time lapse too, because I've slipped around if I don't think to wipe down the dance floor ahead of time. So many things to think about. I've also had wind come up during class and like lift up my whole dance floor. So I put rocks meticulously around it. We think of all the things. You just deal with the problem and then we deal with it. Life is not about never having problems. If you don't have problems, you're probably not living anymore. Life is just about the attitude you have towards the challenges you encounter. I'm gonna go. I just went live also before that. I went live on Tokeativity with them and I was inspired by them to try a new thing. See, this is also what entrepreneurship is. It's about trying new stuff. So I'm gonna go live on Fat Kid Dance Party and see if I get and remind anybody about the class that wants to come. Okay, quick tour of my Zoom equipment in case you want to boss up your Zooms. I use a Bluetooth headset so that I can hear better. I use a podcast microphone, the same microphone I do my podcast on. I've tried this as a thing. There was feedback, and so people preferred this. So I just let my class vote, which do you like better? And the ones who had an opinion said the podcast mic. I also have an external... what is this? An external webcam. And then the way that everyone hears my music is I do an advanced share screen on Zoom where I share computer audio only. But I will say that I found that my Spotify can be about 2/3 high. Like that's where the volume bar is the sweet spot where people can hear me and hear the music well and dance and turn up the music on their end. Okay, I taught my class. It was really fun. We did a self-care check-in afterwards. It's always the funnest part, checking in with everybody. I also realized like halfway through class I had forgotten to do something administrative ahead of time, but that's okay. We're always doing the best we can. I try to just give everything my like 100% effort. There's so many things to think about, you know? Anyway, so then I like forgive myself, get back in the present moment and keep it moving. So I'm gonna get my lunch together and then I'm gonna go in the forest and then get ready for my Tokeativity class. Okay, so I wanted to tell you how I screwed up because it's part of my day. It's part of being an entrepreneur is screwing up and then making doing the best you can to ameliorate the circumstances. So here's what I realized. I was partway through class and I realized I had forgotten my last minute check. There's so many things I do on, I call this game day, that like help me not screw up, right? So I teach my class on Zoom. I send out the Zoom info to like my regulars. I have an email list of them, and then from the Patreon. And then I also send it to anybody who bought a ticket. And because I'm sending it out on Friday, it's just all the people who have bought a ticket up to that moment on Friday. So I do a pretty good job of first thing in the morning checking to see, did I have any overnight ticket sales? And then I send those people out the Zoom info. And then I do a last minute at 10:50, just as I'm about to start the Zoom. Sometimes even 10:58, I'll go on and I'll just look again just to make sure there's no last minute people. And today I forgot to do that. I did so many lives. I was distracted by this. You know, excuses don't matter. The fact is there was a person who signed up late or later than when I sent the email who did not get the Zoom info. And I felt so bad about it because I didn't know. And if I had done my 10:58 check, I would have noticed and been able to like send. My regulars know. They see me like fiddling on the phone and I'm sending out last minute Zoom info. So what I did was, I sent them an apology. I apologized. I owned the mistake. And then I sent them a code for 2 free classes. So it's a 2-for-1. Plus I sent them a code for the workout videos so they can work out right now. I still feel really bad about it, but part of kind of growing and being someone who is doing things is screwing up and then owning it and then doing the best you can. And hopefully, and also here's a thing to remember too, is like, for me, what matters is establishing a long-term client relationship, because what is very valuable as an entrepreneur, honestly, are the people that keep coming back, the people who support you, your long-term folks. So that's what really matters, is the relationship and hoping that person feels valued and acknowledging them and all of that kind of stuff. So if you haven't read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, I wish it was renamed to How to Perfect Your Loving, so people can actually feel how much you love them. Because that's really what the book is about. It's like about all of the ways in which like we as humans are kind of, especially Western culture, programs us to be really selfish and self-centered, and not thinking about the other person and thinking about what their experience is. So it's really helpful for learning how to own your mistakes and learning how to connect with people better and to be a different person in the world, because most people out there are not friendly. Most people out there are not like concerned about how other people are feeling. They don't stop and say, hey, how are you? Right? Like nothing like that. So it's really taught me how, I've read it multiple times. And it's really taught me how to like soften the edges and just have people feel as like, take the barriers out of my loving. I think a lot of our insecurities are just blocks between us and other people and blocking our loving. So anyway, so I've done my apology emails. I've done some administrative work. I ate my lunch. I had leftover pad thai that I make with brown rice noodles. It's not real pad thai. It's what I can make at my house. But today's a leftovers day because I have so much work. I'm going to go be in the forest so that I can get back in time to do some Tokeativity speed networking. Oh, buddy. Yeah. Okay, here I am at Tokeativity. I'm back at my house, by the way. Wait, how do I... Running a thing. Okay, go to networking. Am I ready? Chat roulette, who's it gonna be? Okay, so speed networking, basically it's like 5-minute chat roulettes. You just sit and talk to whoever shows up. One person I had met before, 2 other people were new. It was so exciting, delightful. You click connect to share information. And I almost always, like if it's someone I'm vibing with, I'm almost always gonna like try to set up a like follow-up, I don't know, Zoom or whatever, just so you can know each other more. This is how I've started like friendships. I'm friends with like a bunch of people now from these speed networking events on Tokeativity. So it's totally worth trying to make virtual friends. This is real life now. We're in 2021. This is what we can have. So now we're going to shift to the main stage. They're going to start the event. There's going to be a main stage speaker. And then my class is at 3:30. Changed for my class, and I can't film it because I got to use this to run my music, but here I am. This is my outfit. I'm going to give you a twirl because it's worth the twirl. Any day where I get to change a bunch feels like a success. Feels like I'm really living life. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun. I asked everybody, I'd love to do a post-sesh hangout. So we danced for 30 minutes and then we talked for 10. And almost everybody said their favorite Grateful Dead song, and they were all my favorites. It was so good. I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful for the life I get to lead and getting to teach movement, getting to like follow my passions and share them with people and find like-minded people on the internet through our magical technologies on the internet these days to get to connect. So thanks for continuing to tune into my day. Now I'm going to get business professional because I have a training that starts at 5. And so it's a big day. This is why this is a good day to do a day in the life, because I'm doing fun stuff today. So got a business meeting. I'm going to get all set up inside and I'll check in before you can see my business outfit.
Of parents of people from out of state who have a lot of questions. And I always say that there's no dumb questions. Please ask us everything. We are here to help you. Think of us as like an older friend or an older sister who's been doing cannabis a little bit longer than you have, and that you could ask all the questions that you might not feel comfortable asking.
Here's the vibes. This is where the party's at. It's in the photo booth. Online events with a photo booth are really the party. Look at how fancy I am. Look at how fancy she gets. She gets fancy. This is Zoom fancy. Okay, so here are my tips for looking fancy on Zoom. First of all, your lighting. Find your lighting. I use a glamour light, not a ring light, because I find, and I anything that has this big, broad filter thing, that's what I call a glamour light, diva light, something like that. I use that because it doesn't create distracting rings on my pupils, right? Or on glasses if I'm wearing glasses. I like bold accessories that really speak to professionalism. Everyone thinks, I mean, we're in a pearls time, thanks to Kamala. But also like clip-on earrings with a big, bold thing. I use clip-ons because my ears, little known fact, my ears closed up because I'm allergic to every metal. And I meant when I was 40, when I turned 40, I was like, I'm going to get my ears pierced again this year. I didn't. I had a really disastrous year. My life fell apart in 2019. I did not get around to getting my ears pierced. And then last year was the pandemic. So who knows if I'm ever going to pierce my ears again, probably. But for now, we're clip-on only, and I think they look cute for Zoom. I do like, I mean, my buns, I would say, like, this is also like, we've got double clips back here. If I were going to like a real wedding, this is a dress I would wear to a wedding or a professional event. It's a Calvin Klein. I got it secondhand. I think I paid maybe $10 for this, but it's really cute. Calvin Klein makes some good plus size clothes. They're expensive at Macy's, but not expensive in real life. And also, like, even as I lose or gain weight, like, this is way too big for me now, but like, it still kind of works. So anyway, keeping it profesh, waist up for my Zoom, well lit. Gonna take a lot of notes, gonna learn a lot. It's so funny, I did a whole cannabis event, but like I gotta be sharp for my thing. So anyway, thanks for being on my day in the life. This is so fun. I'll say goodnight when I'm done. It'll probably be dark by then. I'm waiting for the meeting to start, but just so you know, just to really add to this whole outfit, I decided I wanted to smell like Dolly. So I'm wearing my Dolly fragrance. I hardly ever wear fragrance because my mom is super allergic to it. So I have to be super careful. Like, I can't go near my mom in this outfit now that it's got fragrance even near it. But the Dolly fragrance is a delight. Day in the life, what is up? I finished my training. It was really good. Stay learning is all I gotta say. Like, kids grow up and they're real uncomfortable pretty much all the time unless they're playing, and then they're playing and they're having fun, right? That's like an ideal state. You want to be a little uncomfortable. You want to really live and enjoy the life you have, right? A balance. And so I just love learning. It just helps. I feel so young, honestly. I feel so young since I've been really intentionally learning and growing myself. Tonight, I want to share a gem with you. Kobe Bryant said, I'm going to summarize, said basically, haters are a good sign, because nobody hates on the good ones, they hate on the great ones. So when you have haters, it's just telling you you're on the right track. So Kobe Bryant, rest in power. Thanks for being on my day in the life. This was an unusual day. I don't usually have so many things going on, or so many outfit changes, to be frank. But I do, and in fact, most of my regular days are pretty boring. I should take you on a day in the life on a pretty boring day. This was kind of vulnerable for me to do this. I want to say, too, that when I got off my seminar, I got an email back from that client. She had, in fact, gotten the info. So I don't know. Anyway, whatever. And she was like, I'll be back. Don't worry. Meow, 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 right? Okay, so problem solved. I'm glad I went into it just like, conciliatory doing. I just always want to give the best customer experience possible. And sometimes that's what you do. Anyway, this was a fun day in the life. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. If you're here this long, definitely grab onto my podcast, subscribe. It's called Bevin, a femme over 40 and her friends podcast. I talk a lot about just how to live a life that's worth living, honestly. And it's so many cool people from different walks of life. I'm privileged to be friends with people from a wide spectrum of folks. And honestly, I think part of expanding your worldview is just getting to know more people. And I only have fun and interesting people on my podcast who are my friends, who I'm so grateful for. And they're so wise. And there's always just things that they get to teach us. So you can also check out some of the interviews on my YouTube channel. And like and subscribe. That's what I'm supposed to say at the end of it. It's my first day in the life. Well, it's a new thing. And also, thanks so much for tuning in. I think you're awesome. I want to remind you that there's only one of you in all of time and space. And if you don't do you don't get done. I believe we have unique dreams and visions for each of us that are not something that our parents give us. It's stuff that comes through us, right? We uniquely have seeds for what is going to help humanity. And I think our dreams are at the other end of our comfort zone. That is both a good meme and also true. And so I want to just encourage you to get a little uncomfortable every day and also play and enjoy the life you're living. I want to sign off with Biscuit Reynolds, who scratched himself so vigorously around his eye that he made himself bleed today for the second time this week. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll trim his nails. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh. There you go. It's the money shot. This is why you all come here. It's for Biscuit Reynolds. Adopt, don't shop. Best thing I ever did. Adopting Biscuit Reynolds. Okay. I mean, I've made other good choices too. So many choices. At least I don't have to pick a favorite one. But I love you.